Hi all, welcome back to Bosco Campus Vision. In today's session, we'll be covering the topics headlines, subheads, and captions. And the first topic for discussion is headlines. How do we write a headline for a newspaper? Or what is the purpose of headlines in newspaper? We shall see all these things through this session. So, headlines. A headline is the title of a news report that is set in big and bold letters. So, headline, it is the title of a newspaper report or an article, and it is set in big and bold letters. We can distinguish between the headline and the rest of the newspaper report very vividly. A good headline is a reader's guide, compass, and index. So, a good headline, a well constructed headline, it is just like a reader's guide, meaning the readers they can choose to read or not to read the particular newspaper report just based by looking at the headline. Headlines have to contain a clear, succinct, and, if possible, intriguing message to interest the reader, who is usually a person whose eye moves swiftly down a page and stops when something catches his or her attention. So the headline, it should have a clear message that is interesting or appealing to the readers, so that when the reader they just goes through the page, their eyes get stuck on the headline. It catches their attention. So a headline, it must be constructed in that way. The headline of a news story is the short summary which introduces the story. The headline gives a general idea about what the news story is going to be. It gives a sort of summary of the story. The best way to write a good headline is to keep it simple and direct. So, when writing a headline, you should keep it simple. You should keep it simple and direct. Headlines should not be full, complete sentences, but short summaries that will attract attention. The headlines, they are not full sentences, but broken, and yet they convey meaning to the readers. Headline should not be full, complete sentences, but short summaries that will attract attention. And these broken sentences or these incomplete sentences, they have a sense. Even though it is incomplete, they do convey the meaning. So, how do we create a headline, or what are the things to keep in mind while constructing a headline? Let's see. The first point, if possible, use a verb. It denotes action and makes the sentence powerful. So, when writing a headline, you should take care to use a verb as it denotes action and makes the sentence seem powerful. Next one, use the active voice. Passive voice is more formal and may require more words. So try to use active voice while crafting newspaper headlines, because passive voice they sound formal and also they require more words, and the space is very limited for a newspaper report or an article. So try to use active voice instead of passive voice. Next point. Use present tense to convey the sense that the event just happened. We know that one of the features of a news story is its timeliness. When did the event occur? It matters a lot. So, when writing the headlines, also we should keep in mind to use the present tense so that it conveys the readers that the event just happened. So, use the present tense. Next one, avoid ambiguity. So, while constructing a headline, you should be very careful to not be vague. Be clear with your headline. Do not give any room for confusion or ambiguity. Next one, do not capitalize every word. Every word is not capitalized. Next one, avoid repeating words. So avoid repetition because it gets very and tiresome to the readers and they might stop reading it. So avoid repeating words. Next one, draw on idioms, identify phrases or expressions associated with the story's theme. But remember, when you draw on idioms, you have to also keep in mind that you should keep it simple too, so that everyone will understand. So draw on idioms, identify phrases or expressions that are associated with the story's theme. Next one, don't repeat the lead in a headline. The lead, it is the first two sentences in the newspaper report, and we should be careful not to use the lead in a headline because it is repetitive. Next one is regarding the use of punctuations. The period or full stop is not used at the end of the headline. It may be only used in abbreviations to make them more understandable. So, while writing a newspaper headline, we will not use a period or full stop, but only the period or full stop is used in the abbreviated forms like denoting government, GOVT, and a full stop. Next point. Some words are omitted to make the headline catchy. The words which are usually omitted include articles, auxiliary verbs, and possessive adjectives. So, while constructing a headline, we tend to omit articles, auxiliary verbs, and possessive adjectives to make the headline catchy. Okay, so that is all about headlines. The next term is subhead. Subhead is a one or two word headline that is inserted at the head of a paragraph to break the monotony of a solid column of type. So we know what a subheading is. It is basically a one or two word headline that is inserted at the head of a paragraph. It can either be a subordinate title under the main headline or the heading of a subsection of the article. So the subhead, it can either be a subordinate title along with the main headline, or it can be the heading of a subsection of the article. It helps encapsulate the entire piece or informs the reader of the topic which is a part of it. So just like the headline, the one or two word subhead, it also encapsulate, or it also tries to give a summary or a look into what you are about to read. So that is a function of a subhead. Subheads are generally written in bold letters in the same point size as the body text. So the size of the subhead, it is as same as that of the body, but it will be in bold letters. That is a difference. Long or complex articles have more than one subheading. So as long or complex articles, they try to give wide ideas about events or reports. They tend to give multiple subheads. Subheads are thus one type of entry point that help readers make choices such as where to begin or stop reading. So the subhead, they gives the readers a choice of whether to read or to drop it. So that is the function of a subheading. Moving on to the next term, that is caption. Journalists and publications use captions often, usually as a way to specify the details of the photos. So the newspaper reports or the articles, they may be having photos or illustrations. So the journalists and publications use the captions to specify the details of the photos. The details regarding the photos are given as captions. Photo captions help readers understand the meaning behind a particular picture, illustration, or photo that is either inside an article or alone on a page. So the caption, it tries to give an idea about what is going on in the picture or photo or illustration. Captions are also sometimes referred to as cut lines, as they are short and descriptive lines cut into a story. It describes the picture straightforwardly. So what do we see in the photo or illustration? That is given as caption. It is also referred to as cut lines, as it is short and it is descriptive. Those that are longer than a few sentences are defined as copy blocks. So the short and descriptive lines that are under the photos can be called as cut lines, whereas whereas the captions that are longer than a few sentences, they are known as copy blocks. All right. So for you to fully understand our topic, I have incorporated this newspaper report. And if you look at this report, we can find headline, subheading, as well as caption. Which is the headline? Yes, a good heart is colorblind. That is the headline. It is the main headline. And we also have the subhead here, that is 11-year-old author teaches how to overcome racism. So here it is a subordinate title which is under the main headline. That is the subhead. We also have another subhead in this article, and that is just bullying. Have you seen it? Okay. So, and the caption in this newspaper report is the description that is just below the photo. Okay. So that is the caption. So we have seen headline, subhead, as well as the caption. So that's all for today's session. Today we have discussed about headlines, subheads and captions, and as assignment, write a note on headlines, subheads and captions. Thank you and have a nice day.